Hello. If you're here tonight, it's 3 in the morning, or maybe midnight, or that strange hour just after sunset when everyone else's day is ending but yours is unraveling. Someone you love is gone, and your mind won't let you rest. Maybe it happened recently. Maybe it's been months and you thought you were doing okay until the sun went down and the walls started closing in again. Maybe you're tired of feeling this way, tired of the weight, tired of people telling you it gets easier when every night feels impossible. Here's what no one tells you. Grief isn't something you fix. It's something you learn to carry. And the hardest part isn't the sadness. It's the nights, the silence, the waves that hit when you're alone with nothing left to distract you. This video is different from anything else you'll find about grief. It's not about healing in 5 steps or moving on. It's about getting through tonight, and then tomorrow night, and the one after that. In the first half, I'm going to show you what grief is actually doing to your brain and body. Not the vague, poetic version, but the real biological machinery that makes nights unbearable. Then I'll give you the exact tools you need when the waves hit hardest, including the 3-phase system that helps you ride them instead of drowning in them. The second half, that's just for you. No more teaching, just quiet space where you can finally put everything down and rest. You don't have to be strong right now. You just have to stay with me. Let's begin. What grief actually is. Establishing the hidden problem. Most people think grief is sadness. It's not. Sadness is one thread in it, but grief is something bigger and stranger. Grief is what happens when love has nowhere left to go. It's the nervous system trying to reach for someone who isn't there anymore. And here's what makes it so unbearable. Your brain doesn't know they're gone. I don't mean emotionally, I mean neurologically. For weeks, months, maybe years, your brain built pathways around this person. You knew their voice, their patterns, the sound of their footsteps. Your nervous system wired itself around their presence. Neural roads you traveled every single day without thinking. And now, those roads lead to nothing. So your brain keeps trying. It keeps reaching. It keeps expecting them to text, to call, to walk through the door. And every time it remembers they won't, the loss happens again. Fresh, raw, like you're hearing the news for the first time. This is called searching behavior, and it's why grief feels so relentless. Your mind is stuck in a loop, trying to find what it knows is gone. That's why you might catch yourself checking your phone for their name, or turning toward the door when you hear a sound, or seeing their face in crowds. You're not losing your mind. Your brain is desperately trying to complete a pattern that can't be completed anymore. But it's not just your mind. Grief rewires your body too. Your nervous system floods with stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, the same chemicals that activate during a physical threat. Your heart rate becomes irregular. Your sleep fractures. Your appetite vanishes or spikes unpredictably. You might feel physically heavy, like you're moving through water, or completely numb like you're watching your own life from behind glass. And all of this, the searching, the hormones, the physical collapse, it's your body treating the loss like an open wound that never stops bleeding. But here's what matters. This isn't happening because you're weak. It's happening because the bond was real. And your entire system is trying to process something it was never designed to process. Why nights are harder. The hidden biological mechanism. You've probably noticed something strange. During the day, you can almost function. You get through tasks, you talk to people, you hold it together. But the moment the sun goes down and the world goes quiet, everything falls apart. Why? Most people think it's just because you're alone with your thoughts. But that's only part of it. The real reason nights are harder has to do with what's happening inside your body after dark. At night, your cortisol levels drop. That's the hormone that helps you stay alert and manage stress during the day. It's part of your body's natural rhythm. Cortisol rises in the morning, peaks around midday, then gradually falls as you approach sleep. But here's the problem. Cortisol is also what helps you regulate emotion. It's part of your brain's defense system, the thing that helps you hold the grief back during daylight hours. When it drops at night, those walls you've been holding up all day start to crack. Your emotional regulation weakens. The raw grief underneath comes flooding through. But there's more. Your brain becomes more associative at night. The prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic and control, gets quieter. Meanwhile, the limbic system, the emotional, memory-driven part, gets louder. This is why memories surface more easily after dark, why thoughts loop, why the boundary between past and present blurs. So the person you lost feels closer at night, and the absence feels sharper. And then there's the silence itself. During the day, sound fills the gaps. Conversations, traffic, background noise. But at night, the absence becomes its own presence. The empty side of the bed, the missing footsteps, the voice you'll never hear again. The silence becomes deafening. So if you feel like you're coming apart after dark, understand this. You're not imagining it. Your biology is working against you. Your cortisol is low. Your emotional brain is loud. And the world has gone quiet enough that there's nothing left to hide behind. But here's what no one tells you. Once you understand the mechanism, you can work with it. The three-phase system. Grief doesn't come at you steadily. It comes in waves. Some days you'll feel almost stable. You'll think maybe you're getting through this. And then something small will shatter you. A song, a scent, a random memory, and suddenly you're back underwater, drowning all over again. These are grief surges, and they're not setbacks. They're not signs you're broken or regressing. They're part of how your brain processes loss. Here's what's happening. Something in your environment triggers the network connected to this person. A sensory cue, a sound, a place, even a feeling, lights up those memory pathways. And when they activate, your body responds as if the loss is happening right now. Your chest tightens. Your breathing shortens. Tears come fast. You might feel dizzy, disconnected, like you're going to collapse. This is a wave. And here's the most important thing to remember. Waves always pass. Not because grief ends, but because your nervous system can't sustain that level of intensity forever. It will crest. And then it will recede. Your job isn't to stop the wave. Your job is to ride it. Let me show you the three phases that make that possible. Phase 1 is recognition. The moment you feel the wave rising, the tightness in your chest, the tears coming, the panic setting in, you name it. Out loud if you can. In your mind if you can't. Say to yourself, this is a wave. This is grief moving through me. That simple act, naming it, wakes up the part of your brain that helps regulate emotion. It won't make the wave disappear, but it gives you a foothold. It turns chaos into something you can observe instead of something that's consuming you. Phase 2 is anchoring. This is where most people try to fight the wave. They try to calm down, to stop crying, to pull themselves together. Don't. Let the wave be as big as it needs to be. But give your body something to anchor to while it moves through you. Breathe, not to force yourself to calm down, just to stay present. Inhale through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale through your mouth for 6. And repeat. This sends a signal through your body that you're not in immediate danger. It doesn't stop the grief, but it helps keep your nervous system from spiraling into full panic. and let the grief out however it needs to come. Cry hard, scream into a pillow, curl up on the floor. Grief doesn't care about dignity. Let it be ugly. Phase 3 is recovery. Eventually, you'll notice the waves starting to ease. Your breathing will steady. The shaking will slow. The tears will stop coming so fast. This is the recovery phase. And this is where people often make a mistake. They immediately try to go back to normal. They push themselves to get up, to keep going, to act like nothing happened. Don't. When the wave recedes, rest. Drink cold water. It's a simple signal to your body that you're taking care of yourself. Wrap yourself in something soft. Sit in the quiet. Don't ask yourself to do anything else. You just survived a wave. That's enough. There's something else that comes with grief. Something almost no one talks about until it's destroying them from the inside. The guilt. Maybe you're replaying the last days, the last conversation, the things you said or didn't say. Maybe you were impatient once, or tired, or distracted. Maybe you missed a call, forgot to visit, didn't say "I love you" one more time. And now, you can't take any of it back. So your brain does something cruel. It starts bargaining. If only I had called more. If only I'd been there. If only I'd known it was the last time. This is counterfactual thinking. Your mind is trying to rewrite the past because it can't accept the present. It's searching desperately for a version of reality where this didn't happen, where you did everything right, where they're still here. But here's what your brain won't tell you, the thing it's hiding underneath all that guilt. You're not actually trying to fix the past. You're trying to find control in a situation where there is none. Because if you can blame yourself, if you can find something you did wrong, then maybe, just maybe, there's a world where you could have prevented this. A world where you had power. A world where this unbearable randomness makes sense. But that world doesn't exist. You didn't know it was the last time. You couldn't have. And even if you somehow did, you're human. You were tired. You were living your life. You were doing the best you could with what you had. And here's what most people don't realize about guilt. And this matters. The guilt isn't only about them, it's also about you. Because if you can stay focused on what you should have done differently, you don't have to sit with the much harder truth that you had no control, that love doesn't protect people, that you can do everything right and still lose them. So when the should-haves come, and they will come, especially at night, I want you to try something. Say it out loud. I wish I had called more, or whatever your version is. Say it, then pause and say, and I was doing the best I could. Both things can be true. You can wish things were different and accept that you are not to blame. You can miss them desperately and forgive yourself for being human. The guilt is another wave. Let it come. Let it pass. And then, slowly, let it go. Here's something nobody warns you about. Even if the people around you are kind, even if they say all the right things at the funeral, even if they check in for the first few weeks, they still can't reach you where you are, because grief happens in a place that words don't go, and the world moves on so fast. A week after the funeral, people stop asking how you're doing. A month later, they expect you to be functional again. 3 months later, they don't mention the person's name anymore. They change the subject when you bring them up. They tell you, gently or not, that it's time to move forward. But you're still there. Still living in the last moment you saw them. Still waking up every morning to the fresh shock that they're gone. And that gap between where you are and where everyone else has already moved. That's the loneliness. It can be made worse by something psychologists call disenfranchised grief. That's when your loss isn't recognized by other people as significant enough to explain the depth of your pain. Maybe you weren't married to them. Maybe you were estranged. Maybe it was a pet, a friend, an ex you still loved. Maybe the relationship was complicated in ways other people didn't understand. So when you break down, people give you that look, the look that says, "It's been long enough. You should be over this by now. It's not like you were that close." But grief doesn't care about labels. It doesn't care about legal relationships or social conventions. Grief cares about one thing: connection. And if the connection mattered to you, the loss is real. So if you feel alone in this, if you feel like no one really understands, if you feel like you're carrying this in a way no one else can see, you're not imagining it. The loneliness is real, and it's one of the hardest parts of grief. But here's what you can do. Find one person, just one. Someone who will let you say their name without flinching. Someone who will listen when you tell the same story for the 10th time. Someone who won't rush you, or fix you, or tell you it's time to move on. And if you don't have that person yet, write it down, keep a journal, talk out loud to the empty room. Let the grief out somewhere, anywhere, even if it's only onto paper that no one else will ever see. Because loneliness shrinks when it's witnessed, even if the only witness is you. Let's talk about 3 in the morning. You wake up, and the grief is there immediately, like it was sitting beside your bed waiting for you. Your chest is tight, your mind is already racing, the panic is rising, and you know you won't be able to fall back asleep. So what do you actually do? Here's the system I want you to follow. Not try if you feel like it. Follow it. Step 1. Get up. Don't lie there fighting it. That only makes it worse. Your brain will spiral, and the longer you stay in bed wrestling with the grief, the more your body learns to associate your bed with panic. So get up. Go to another room. Turn on a dim light. Not your phone screen. Actual light. Your nervous system needs to know you're awake and safe, not trapped in the dark with your thoughts. Step 2. Drink cold water. This isn't metaphorical. Cold water signals to your body that you're taking care of yourself. It interrupts the panic response. It pulls you back into your body. Just a few sips is enough. Step 3. Choose your anchor. You need to give your mind something to do besides spiral. Here are 4 options. Pick one. Option 1. Move. Walk slowly around your space. Stretch your arms overhead. Do gentle movements. Shake out your hands. Movement helps discharge the adrenaline that jolted you awake. It tells your body, we're not in danger. We're just moving. Option 2. Ground yourself. This is the 5-4-3-2-1 technique. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. This pulls your brain out of the memory loop and anchors it in the present moment. It forces your mind to observe instead of spiral. Option 3. Talk to them, out loud or in writing. Say everything you need to say. Tell them you miss them. Tell them you're angry they left. Tell them you don't know how to do this without them. You don't have to believe they can hear you. You just have to let the words out, because what's killing you isn't the grief itself. It's the pressure of holding it in. Option 4. Listen to something. Not music that reminds you of them. that will break you open again. Something neutral, a calm voice, rain sounds, a podcast about something unrelated, something that gives your mind a thread to follow, besides the loop it's stuck in. And if none of it works, if you try all four and you're still awake at 4 or 5 in the morning, that's okay too. Sometimes survival is just staying with yourself until the sun comes up. You're not broken, you're grieving. And this is what grieving looks like in the middle of the night. I need to tell you something true, something most people won't say, because they think it's too hard to hear. Grief doesn't end. I know people tell you it gets easier, that time heals, that you'll move on. And in some ways, that is true. But it's not the whole truth. The whole truth is this: you don't get over it. You learn to build a life around the hole. The hole doesn't shrink, the loss doesn't get smaller, but your life, slowly, gradually, grows bigger. New moments come, new routines, new people, new reasons to keep going. And eventually, the grief takes up less of the total space. Not because it's smaller, but because there's more room around it. This is called integration. It's when the loss becomes part of your story, instead of the only thing in it. And it doesn't happen on a timeline. Some people start to feel steadier after 6 months. For others, it's 2 years, 5 years, 10. There is no right pace. Grief is not a project with a deadline. It's not something you graduate from. But at some point, maybe not today, maybe not this year, but someday, you'll notice something small. You'll laugh at a joke and not feel guilty afterward. You'll go a whole day without crying. You'll think of them and feel warmth instead of only devastation. And that moment might terrify you, because it can feel like forgetting, like letting go, like proof that you're moving on without them. But here's what you need to understand. That's not forgetting. That's healing. Healing doesn't mean you love them less. It means you've learned to carry the love differently. You'll still miss them. You'll always miss them. There will still be moments, birthdays, holidays, random Tuesdays, where the grief comes roaring back, like no time has passed at all. But you'll also have moments where you're okay, where you feel something close to peace, where you can say their name without breaking. One day you'll tell a story about them and smile. You'll feel the absence, but you won't be crushed by it. You'll carry them with you, and you'll be able to keep walking. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday. If you've made it this far tonight, I want you to know something. You're stronger than you think. I know that sounds like something people say when they don't know what else to offer, but I mean it differently. Grief is one of the hardest things a human being can carry. It's not just sadness, it's the weight of love that has nowhere to go. It's your entire nervous system trying to reach for someone who isn't there anymore. And you're still here. You're still trying. You're still searching for ways to get through the night. That takes more strength than anyone who hasn't lived through this could possibly understand. So I want you to know 3 things before we move into the quiet part. First, you are not too much. Your grief is not too much. And anyone who tells you to get over it, to be strong, to move on faster, they don't understand. And that's okay. You don't need them to. Second, it's okay to feel relief sometimes. It's okay to have moments where you forget. It's okay to laugh again, to feel joy again. That doesn't mean you didn't love them. It means you're still alive. And being alive means all of it, the grief and the relief and everything in between. And third, you're allowed to rest now. You've been carrying so much, holding so much, fighting so hard, just to make it through each day. And tonight, you can put it down, just for a little while. What comes next is space. No more teaching, no more instructions, no more trying to understand or fix or survive. Just calm, just presence. Just a quiet place where you can let everything go and simply exist. You can keep this on in the background. You can fall asleep to it. You can just be. You're safe here. Nothing is required of you anymore. Let's drift. Breathe in. Breathe out. You're here, you're okay. Nothing is required of you right now. You don't have to fix anything. You don't have to understand anything. You don't have to be anywhere but here. Just breathe. In and out. The night is big, but you are safe in it. The grief is heavy, but you don't have to carry it alone. Let the weight rest. Let your body rest. There is nothing to solve, nothing to decide, nothing to hold on to. Just this moment, just this breath. You are enough, just as you are, right now. Let yourself be held by the quiet. Let the night carry you. You've done enough today. You've done enough. Rest now. Just rest. You're safe. You're here. And that's enough. You're not the only one awake right now feeling this way. If this video helped, leave a comment, even just a single word. Let others know they're not alone. Subscribe for more night guides when you need them. You got through tonight. You can get through tomorrow night too.